Hey guys, it's Devin Doherty, and I hope you are seeing this live. And just in case there's a little delay, I just want to say happy Saturday, November 5th. Happy fall. Just super great time of the year to start getting ready to celebrate the holidays. You guys probably know that I'm an avid skier and snowboarder, and we're getting ready to make our trips up to Mammoth, where we do a lot of skiing. We also hope to be traveling to other spots. And my wife and I have been married now 30 years this year, and we met in Mammoth skiing. So it's a great time for us to change gears. And speaking of changing gears, this is a market update, and the market is really changing gears. So we're gonna jump into that right now. I'm gonna share my screen and just kind of walk through kind of the big picture of what's going on. I'm gonna start with kind of some of the obvious things, then we'll look into some of the nuanced things. My goal is to keep this concise and short so that you have enough information to really know that it takes great expertise in this market. I just want to remind you guys that, my number one value is helping people on their journey. So when I show up and I want to serve, I want to make sure that I know how to help you get to where you want to go. So that's the reason for doing these market updates. Been doing real estate over 30 years and just really enjoy helping our clients on their journey. And just want to make sure you understand that. We also have our number one business value of helping people build generational wealth in real estate. And what that looks like is us helping you identify whether you should hold a property. For instance, I've got a client right now that we're working with this weekend. We're out showing them properties. They were considering selling their property and buying. Instead, what we're going to do is we're going to hold the property, rent it out, and buy another property. They want to increase their lifestyle. They want to add to the lifestyle. Matter of fact, I've got two clients like that right now. We had another client, same kind of evaluation. They decided to sell and buy. So we're not committed to one way or the other. We just want to go through the pros and cons. With my background at KPMG as a consultant, my job is really just to lay out the game plan for you and to show you the pros and cons of what your decision might be. We do a lot of virtual coffees. We can sit down on Zoom. We can meet face to face. We work all of Southern California, but specifically I live in Mission Viejo. So we're going to drill down from the macro picture all the way down to the micro picture and talk to you about a few properties that we've got going on in the area, even just to give you that color and that flavor all the way down. So let me jump in with a screen share here, and we'll go from there. So let's see here. There is my screen. We're going to add that to the Zoom. And so this is kind of the big news, if you will. We saw the peak of the market here at the beginning of 22. This is property values in Orange County. This is what's happened in Orange County. For those of my friends who are more regionally interested, we can also look at our entire MLS. I'm part of the CRMLS, the Consolidated Regional MLS. That's many counties. I think over 30 counties in all of the area here. So that's a big chunk of California, and then here again is specifically Orange County. And if we look at Orange County, you can see again we peaked right there in April, and it's been going down consistently since then. And now we're down to 936 as an average price. So this is kind of the big news, the headlines. I think everybody's kind of feeling it. What it means is, we need to determine how to position you, whether you're a seller or a buyer, or hopefully just holding on to real estate with what's going on in the market. As you probably have seen, I was talking to a client who has several $1 million in their stocks, and they've lost about 40% in value this year. So while there's been a value reduction in here because of inflation and some of these other factors, the capital markets are in a different situation. And I plan on having future conversations with you guys about how the capital markets is different than holding real estate. My family has been doing this for many years. My wife's father's mother was the first female president of the Beverly Hills Board of Real Estate. So we've been doing it a long time, and we really want to help you guys build generational wealth in real estate. As we look further at what's happening, if you are not able to watch the whole stream or you need to jump out, just call or text me and we can schedule a personal time to jump into your specific situation. But let me go further and just kind of show you, and then and go deeper there. By the way, I do want to tease you a little bit. My very good friend from church, from Calvary Chapel, is has relocated into wine country, and he is teaching me how the business of winemaking works. We're not officially selling wine, but we are in the process of ramping up some fun things there. And you'll notice on my website at devintdoherty.com/wine, if you enjoy drinking wine, I have a lot of different varietals. You'll see some YouTube videos of us making the wine, and it's harvest season. So if you have any interest in that conversation, let us know, and we'd love to help you. So once again, thanks so much. And I'm going to jump right into some more details here. Let me go to the big picture first of all. So big picture, what we've got is I'm going to show you a few graphs from Stephen Thomas. He does a report called Reports on Housing. This is showing where the difference in a payment is for buyers in the marketplace with a $900,000 mortgage. So that would be a 10% down loan. At the beginning of the year with a 3.2 interest rate, it was $3,900. Now today it's $6,000. So this pain that the buyers are feeling is causing prices to slip. Now, they're not slipping at a tremendous rate, and year over year, what we're going to ultimately see is we're going to see things kind of balancing out. Speaking of year over year, I want to switch over to another chart to kind of give you an idea. Here's all of Orange County, and this is a graph that we chart both year over year and year to date. And so if I look at detached housing, all of Orange County, you can see new listings are down, pendings are down greatly, closed sales are also down. That's mainly because there's this thing called a hunkering down effect. A lot of people were at 3% loans, don't want to move up and don't want to move down because they have to move to a 7% loan to do that. Now, some people are able to do it. Some people are willing to do it. And that's where the market is still moving, but it's moving at a much slower pace. And I'll show you some other graphs related to that. The thing I want you to notice, though, is that year over year, we still see 8% increase in value. What's going to happen, though, is there's going to be a take back through the end of this year. That take back is going to drive the price lower. And so quite honestly, what we're looking at is possibly a wash year over year in values here in Southern California, specifically Orange County, Mission Viejo. And if you look at that across the average sales price, you'll notice average sales price is up. But again, we're going to see that year over year as we look further into the next quarter. If we fast forward another 90 days, you'll see that the take back of the fourth quarter is going to probably create a wash between the top of the values of 21 and where 22 ended up. Now, what that means is a lot of things to whether you're a seller, whether you're a buyer. So we can talk about that again specifically. Just want to make sure you're aware of where we are statistically. Now, since this is Orange County specific stats, I'm going to go deeper, and I'm going to go into Mission Viejo specifically. Now, Mission Viejo is the city that I've lived in on and off since 1979. Went to Mission Viejo High School, have been in the area a long time, understand the market really well. I've got multiple clients that I'm going to talk to you about here just to kind of give an idea. This is what's happened year over year in Mission Viejo. Similar story, 5.9% growth, but again, with values tapering off, it's going to be somewhat of a wash. So just keep that in mind. Here we are, year from the beginning of from September through 21 year to date, and then through 22 year to date. You can see prices are still up, but it's a little deceiving because we have a slowing market, and we're going to talk more about that as well. Let me jump over to some other slides here that I've got ready for you. This is, again, what's happened to interest rates. And you can see with interest rates that have gone all the way up over 7, it has been very painful. Again, these are slides from Stephen Thomas and Reports on Housing. Really great feedback. Here's what's interesting. This is the year over year change in principal and interest payment by percentage. So if you think about a buyer in the marketplace, a buyer is paying 60% more year over year. And then these blue lines are recession lines. So you can see that there's a tiny little blue line here. That was the COVID recession, but you're going to start to see some more blue line pain coming up. Now, you can also see what's happened is that since 1982, we have not had these massive year-to-date changes that we've had in 2022. So this is a banner year for interest rate changes. What that means is it creates pain both in demand. Here's overall demand diminishing at a greater rate than we've seen in other years. And then you can also see what's happening is that pain is, we've got the lowest demand reading since 2020 April, right now. So that means basically we're back to COVID numbers for demand, which is critical. If you're thinking about selling, you need to know this information on how to properly price your property. If you look at inventory, our inventory is radically increased. And because it has increased, what that's doing is it's causing, again, buyers to have more choices. It's not truly a buyer's market. It's more of a balanced market, but we're moving possibly even into a buyer's market. I'll show you that in just a minute. This word pain has to do with what the Federal Reserve literally said when they were in Jackson Hole, Wyoming. They said, look, we're going to create some pain. And that's what, ever since then, you can see that's where inventory has really gone like this. And that pain is a big factor in our market. The other thing you're going to see with these graphs is you're going to see new housing listings are dropping. That they're dropping at a much greater rate. That has to do with our hunkering down effect. And if you look at what's going on with the amount of homes coming on the market compared to the 3-year average prior to COVID, we're down over 20% month over month. So every month we're losing another 20%, another 20%, another 20%. It becomes very, very hard. The reason why the hunkering down is happening is because 89% of people in California have a 5% or lower interest rate. 71% have a 4% or lower, and 29% have a 3% or lower. So when you're looking at move up, move down, a lot of people are scratching their head saying, well, why would I pay this amount of money? And at the same time, you got to live your life. And that's why we do have a lot of buyers that are moving. I'm going to give you a few specific examples in a minute. Here's the thing that's interesting is that you want to pay attention to the speed of the market, and you want to look at days on market as one of the key indicators. And days on market right here, you can see we're encroaching, we're coming up on 100 days on market. And with 100 days on market, what that simply means is that we are going to start moving. We're in a balanced market, moving towards a buyer's market. Last time we saw a buyer's market was when interest rates spiked back in 2018. And then you can see over here, there was somewhat of a buyer's market over the 100 days line. But again, it's still very balanced. It requires a tremendous amount of expertise. The challenge that I'm finding in the marketplace, representing listing sides as well as buyers, is that right now there's a lot of inexperienced agents who don't have the track record that we do. And they need to partner up with agents like ourselves to learn how to represent their buyers and their sellers more effectively in this market. It's a volatile market, and it really makes sense to be partnered up with somebody of high level of experience in this market. It's critical. Again, I think the key here you got to understand is that we see this massive curve going up when we would normally see it level and flat in these other 3 prior years. So that's a critical thing to consider. You can see what's happened in our surrounding counties. This is just in the last month that you've seen. Actually, I think it's the last 2 weeks that you've seen these numbers jump up significantly. So what that's really saying is that we're in this balanced market. And there's a really cool graph here that I want to share with you. It's basically the month over month change in price on the bottom and the months of inventory on the side. So the way to look at this graph is that this is the amount. Remember when the market was moving up 1% a month or 2% a month? That was these dots over here, and that's when inventory was at its lowest, right? And then if you look over here, when value is dropping 0.5% a month or 1% a month, this is what's happening here. So you got these dots that are here, and what you're going to see is that you're going to start seeing values going down, and then you're going to see inventory going up, which will look more like this area over here. So that's where we are right now. I'm going to switch over and show a couple of specific examples. This is a home that we just closed in my neighborhood. I actually live on Amapola down the street, and this is a home that we just closed. It's a beautiful home. It sold in 1 day because it has everything that a buyer would want, and it's got had view close to the country club. So many great things about this home. We sold it very quickly. We represented the buyer, and we also co-listed the home. And what that did is it caused kind of a stir in the marketplace. And now we're going to have a couple more in my neighborhood coming up. So if you are interested in Mission Ridge, specifically South Mission Viejo, we'd love to talk to you about that. And I want to show you what it also did. It has also caused this property to go on the market because the buyer of that property ended up selling this home here. Now, this home we initially put on the market in the coming soon period. We put it on the market for $125, and then just as we listed it, the day we listed it, we dropped it down to $1198. We had this conversation with the intention of doing this prior to listing the home. So the seller didn't think that they were losing 50,000. We were just testing the waters with the coming soon market and then moved it to where we wanted to market it. We did end up with multiple offers. We're in contract over the asking price. And what I want you to know is that this is the strategies of experienced agents. It's critical. This is a listing that we have here in South Mission Viejo. We just closed on this one yesterday. We represented the buy side on this transaction. This property actually appraised above the purchase price. And what we did is we actually we didn't get the property initially. We wrote an offer on it right away. They went into contract with, I think, 1 or 2 other buyers, and then we ended up closing on it because we were able to stick in there and get our buyer a property. Our buyer actually had to cancel out of another transaction in order to buy this property, and that's part of the challenge out there, is that because of the inventory increasing, buyers are getting more choices, and you need to know how to navigate that and make sure that you understand contingencies at a high level. So there's a lot of things to consider, you guys. I want to wrap up with just a clear understanding of where we're headed. And again, this is really a big important point for you to pay attention to. And at the same time, when we're looking at specific values in the market, every single property is going to have a different story. Every single situation is going to have a different story. So it's critical that you reach out to us and talk to us about what we can do. Last point I want to make is that I am also a master practitioner of neuro-linguistic programming. I'm going to be teaching, actually assisting with this class here in Orange County. It's coming up on December 8th through 11th. They used to charge $5,000 for this course. I can get you in there for actually only $97. So if you want to join me and learn, some really great life skills, really, I recommend it to all the salespeople of the world. I recommend it to any business owner of the world, anybody who wants to improve their life, spiritual, physical, mental, emotional, any aspect of your life that you want to improve. It's a really powerful 4-day program. And I'm going to give you the code for you to use. I'm going to put that right here on the screen for you to use. If you go in and you register and you use this code DDoherty-NLP, it'll help you get that discount down to $97. It's a 4-day class. It's long days, 9 to 8 every day, but the topics and the information is incredibly valuable. We spend almost a full day just on developing rapport and what it means to be in rapport with people and how that rapport translates into great relationship. So whether there's the holiday times are here, and whether there's relationships that need mending in the family or in business, I would highly, highly recommend this course. So thank you guys so much for allowing me to invest some time with you, and would love to get your feedback, and we will talk soon. Make it a great day. Thanks so much.